morning, good afternoon, and good evening for all my students that are watching this video. So today in the virtual class, we're going to see Unit 4 that is about places. My name is Kevin Hamburger and let's go with the video. The grammatical topics that we're going to review right here are there is and there are, and its use, of course, in the affirmative, negative, and interrogative form. The verb can for possibility in the affirmative, negative, and interrogative form. And some useful vocabulary and expressions for shopping. We're going to use the word to and the word very. There is and there are. What is this? We use there is and there are to say that something exists. And we use there is and there are to talk about places and things and people in a specific place. We have here some examples using affirmative sentences. There's a balcony at home. There are 3 big bedrooms. And there are some pictures. Let's take a look at the last one because this is something important. It says, we use there are, it means the plural, plus some, this is the word some, for no exact numbers. It means that when we say there are some pictures, it could be like 2, 3, 4, 5, lots of pictures. We are not specifying how many pictures there are in the, let's say, in the bedroom, in the living room, in the museum. Okay, we have another example. There are some books. We don't know how many books are. So in the first example right here, we have there is, but this is the contraction. There's a balcony at home. This first one, we use it when we talk about only one thing. In this case, there's only one balcony. In the second one and in the third one, we're talking about more than 2 things. For example, there are 3 big bedrooms. We use there are when we talk about more than 2 things. And there are some pictures that we already explained. Now, the negative sentences is the same by using the not. That's it. So, there isn't a garden with lots of flowers at home. There aren't any chairs in the living room. It means that we haven't these things in our home, okay, in our house. So when the sentences in negative and plural, okay, we always use any after they aren't. For example, there aren't any tables, or there aren't any chairs. We're checking here 2 things. There aren't, we have the negative sentence, there aren't. And we have tables, more than one thing. It means plural. When those 2 conditions met, okay, we use any. We have here the examples. There aren't any tables, and there aren't any chairs. Now, interrogative sentences. It's the same when we construct, let's say, interrogative sentences using the simple present. Okay, we just need to switch the pronoun, and we just need to switch the main verb or the auxiliary verb. In this case, the main verb is going to be the verb to be. We have here the example. Is there a TV in the bedroom? And as any question has an answer, obviously we need to answer this. So, yes, there is. Or no, there isn't. This is when we talk about only one thing. Now, let's go when we talk about more than 2 things. Are there 2 beds in the same room? Yes, there are. Or no, there aren't. Now, let's go with an example using any. Are there any shelves? Yes, there are. No, there aren't. Now, for questions, we always use any after are there, plus the noun or the substantive. Let's go for an example. Are there any pans in the kitchen? And you can answer this. Yes, there are. Or no, there aren't. We need to take into account that when we said pans, we're not specifying how many pans we're talking about. Okay, how many pans are in the kitchen? It could be 1, it could be 2, it could be 3, 4, 50. We don't know. That's why we use any. Now let's go for the preposition of place. This is the vocabulary for this first part of the unit 4. So we can use them along with there is and there are to say more specifically where a thing, place, or a person is located. We have here some examples. We have in, under, above, in front of, on, behind, between, next to, and below. Let's go for some examples. We have here in, we have on, under, behind, in front of, above, below, between, next to. Now let's talk about the modal verb can. In this case, we're going to use it to express possibilities. So we use can in two ways, okay? To say that something is possible or to say that something is impossible, okay? When we say that something is possible, we use can plus the infinitive form of the verb. It means the normal form of any verb. And when we say that something is impossible, we use can't or cannot plus the infinitive form of the verb or the normal form of any verb. Now let's go for some example, guys. Affirmative and negative sentences. I can come to the party. Is it possible for me to come to this party? Okay, it's a possibility for me. I can do it. Or we can't come to the party. It's impossible for us to come to this party because there is something that is not letting us to come. Something is happening, okay? We have here some other examples. You can buy stamps at the store and you can't buy medicine in the cinema. Obviously, you can't buy medicine in the cinema. You can't only buy medicine in a pharmacy or a drugstore, and that's it. Now, let's go for interrogative sentences. As any interrogative sentence in the simple present, we are going to use the same, let's say, structure with the modal verb can. Okay? So, can she bring some books to the reading session? And obviously, any question has an answer. We can say, yes, she can, or no, she can't. Another example, can we buy French food? Yes, we can, or no, we can't. We need to take into account some things, okay? So remember that can, the verb can, always remains the same for all persons, okay? This verb doesn't change. Even it doesn't matter if you use I, if you use you, if you use the third person, she, he, or it remains the same. It doesn't change, okay? So it's gonna be always can. And we never use to after can. For example, they can eat here. And you can say they can to eat here. This is something that is wrong. The correct form to say it is the one that is here highlighted in blue, or it's green, I don't know. They can eat here. Or you can say they can dance here, they can sing here, or whatever you can say, okay? Now, let's go for places in towns and vocabulary. This is another vocabulary that we are going to use along with the verb can, okay? So, we use this vocabulary along with can to express the possibilities of going to one of these places. We have here the places: an art gallery, a post office, a police station, a supermarket, a theater, a gym or a sports center, a pharmacy, or a drugstore. You can say a drugstore as well. A library, a museum, a movie theater, an athletic store, and an electronics store. So remember that we always use a or an before the noun and use at to introduce the place. We have here some example. This only when we use it with the verb can, okay, to express a possibility. For example, we can send a letter. You know what a letter is, okay? A letter is something that contains a message and you send it to another person. It's like a piece of paper. You write something and you send this to another person, and that's it. We can send a letter at a post office. Another example, she can play tennis and soccer at a sports center. Or you can look at the paintings at an art gallery, excuse me. So sometimes we can use from to introduce the place. We have here a little example. I can borrow a book from a library. Okay, it means that the book comes from this place. I mean the library. The book comes from the library. That's why we use from. Okay, it's the same when we say that we come from a specific place, like your country, for example. I come from Italy, I come from Japan, I come from Russia, I come from Korea. This is the same thing when we talk about the book. This book is coming from the library, so in this case we are going to use from and not at. Now let's go for the last topic of this unit number 4, shopping, and the words to and very. So we use very to express positive and negative ideas. Okay, for example, it's very good or it's very expensive. We have two different ideas with two different meanings. It's very good means something that is positive, and it's very expensive. You say this when something has a high price and you cannot buy this, or you just don't want to buy this because it's really 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 expensive and you can't afford it. That's it. It's very good and it's very expensive. Positive and negative. We use to express only negative ideas. Remember this. Very, positive and negative, and to, only negative ideas. We have here an example. It's too small. It's a problem for me. This sentence means that it's a problem for you, that this specific thing that you are buying is too small for you. Okay? So we use very and to when we go to shopping. As I already told you, we use the person I, you, she, he, it, we, and they, and you one more time, plus to or very, and the adjective. For example, we have it, that is the person or the pronoun, very, the word, and we have the adjective that is big. It's very big. Another example, it's too long. It's a problem for me that this thing is long. Okay? We can also ask some questions to look for other objects in a store. Do you have it in extra large, large, medium, or small size? That's a question. Or do you have it in green, blue, red, or brown color? Let's say, for example, a jacket. You're going to buy a jacket, and this jacket is only in black, and it's really, really small. Okay, it's not your size. You're going to say, hey, do you have this jacket, or do you have it in medium size, in a blue color, for example? And you can also ask for the cost or the price, okay? And you can say, how much is it? And for example, if there are more than one thing, you can say, how much are they? And that's it. Now, let's go for the things that you are going to buy in a shop, in a store. We use this vocabulary along with very and to express ideas when we go shopping. A swimsuit, a sweater, a printer, a soccer jersey, jeans, a SIM card, that is this little thing that we enter in our smartphones in order for us to make calls. Okay, a t-shirt, this is a t-shirt, a jacket, I don't have a jacket right here, but everybody knows what a jacket is. A tablet or a computer, athletic shoes, sneakers, a memory stick, walking boots, a soccer ball, and earphones. Now, let's go for some example. The swimsuit is too small. Do you have it in size 40? Yes or no? This tablet is very good. I love it. And I got a very nice jacket in the clothing store. And that's it, guys. So this is the end of the presentation. So I hope that you understood everything. So if you have any questions, don't doubt in contacting me and telling me anything that you need, guys. So thank you so much for attending to this virtual class and have a nice day.